All right, guys, it's a great morning. We're just getting started. We're driving a portfolio today. We have 11 construction projects going on right now simultaneously. 3 of them are fix and flips and the rest are rentals. So today also, something for me that I've never done actually before. I have a good friend of mine. Her son is looking to get into real estate, and he was actually at a real estate meetup about 3 weeks ago, and he hit me up and said, hey Fuquan, I really want to learn the investment side instead of just the, being a realtor and selling properties that way. Can I shadow you for a day? So I was like, sure. He asked me a couple of weeks ago, my schedule was busy. I found some time today to kind of take him on a ride so he can see what every day looks like in a real estate investor. We're gonna check out as many properties as we can today and try to motivate these guys to finish on time. But I wanted to really talk about something very important today, real quick, for all of you guys who's looking to get into the business. It's a lot of challenges, but it's fun, it's exciting, and you get the freedom from it. Real estate has a lot of benefits, but you really have to be wanting to put more into it than you get out of it. And that's with everything. That's even if you're working a 9 to 5 right now and you're watching this and you're feeling like you're being underpaid and overworked, right? You should always work for your value. You should always do more than what you're being paid. And that's how it works. The universe will bring things back to you, maybe not from that same situation, but from another situation. So always remember that. And when you have the mindset, the 9 to 5 mindset that, it's not time yet, it's not 9 o'clock yet, so I'm not gonna work, or it's 4:59, so I'm about to leave, that's not gonna get you anywhere, because that's the same way you're gonna act when you get involved and get control of your own business. I did enough work for the day, right? I'll give you another example. So I was talking to my GC and he was telling me that he subcontract work out also, and he had a sheetrock crew come to the house, and their deal is he buys the material, they do the labor. So the materials get delivered to the house, and we're just doing the labor for the sheetrock installation. We're not gonna bring the sheetrock from outside into the house. I was like, that's crazy, right? How do you expect to keep a long relationship with a vendor like that if they're not willing to go above and beyond to kind of win your business from you and provide that exceptional customer service? Now, granted, they could easily get paid to bring the materials into the house, which I'm sure he was willing to offer that, but you just have some people who's stuck in that mindset, right? So very important, if you're looking to get involved in this business, you have to be willing to do more than what's expected. That's in anything in life, in your 9 to 5, in your marriage, in your relationship, whatever it is. Always be the one that bring more to the table, and don't expect for people, don't do it expecting somebody else to do it for you, just do it just because, and you always get far. So I wanted to come on and share that with you guys. I think it's very important. A lot of people miss that because they just stuck and they're ignorant to it, and just make them aware of it, or just show them by the action, and then they'll see. So we just left the office. We actually have, I don't know if I should call you the shadower. We're gonna pan on this guy in the back. We have the shadower. The first project we're gonna go to is a restoration I'm doing in Montclair, New Jersey. I've been working on this property now for almost a year. I purchased it last year, sometime in July. Had to wait, I don't know, over 60 days to get the drawings and get the permits. So we started sometime early October on this property, and almost done. So we're going towards the finish line. And finishing, I did a vlog the other day where I was talking about the finishing. It takes so much more time to finish a house because the fine details, really is what make it count. So putting in the knobs to the cabinets, the backsplash on the tile, because a lot of that stuff gets done where you get most of the light fixtures and all that stuff up because you want everyone to see how it looks against everything else. That's what takes me the most in my restorations, the finishing. Sometimes I might change the look of the vanity because the way it came out in the end when the moldings and everything were up, but I'm pretty excited to have this one almost done. We had a lot of challenges on this project, from installing a bigger water line from the street. Had to get a variance because we extended the front porch so the look of the house would look nice. But yeah, we're here now. We're still now waiting for permits from the variance, which we should get any day now, and then we can get cracking on that front porch and bring this thing home. I think I got about another 3 weeks worth of work here before it goes to the market, and we'll see. So that's the first project we're going to. So we're here now at one of the sites in Montclair, New Jersey. I have Robert with me. And he shadowed me around for the day. He had some really good questions. And one of the questions that he asked me was, how am I managing the rent collection? Are you using a property management company? Just keep it rolling, we'll come over this way. Because the guys are doing the landscaping on a property I actually did next door and I sold. Finished that property, sold a couple of months ago, now we're working on this. But getting back to what I was talking about, I started off, again, like everyone else, going from door to door back 20 years ago, collecting rents from tenants, knocking on the doors. And it seemed to be a waste of time. And really, you really can't manage stuff doing that. They have so many systems and softwares and apps that you can leverage now, which allow you to do that. And Robert was sharing one with me, and I was telling him I use Appfolio. And another vendor he dropped was Buildium. I started using Buildium in the beginning. Buildium is actually more affordable if you have, I would say, I don't know, 25 units or less that you're managing. But anything more than that, you have to get more to a more robust system. And the way that process works is it allows you to collect the application fee for your tenant. Everything is done online. Once they get over that hurdle, it does the background checks and everything else. And kind of what I look for is if they have any eviction history in the last 3 years. That'll tell you the type of tenant you have, and we of course look at the trade lines and the credit, how well they're paying them. And you can just approve it, and everything else is done online, meaning that if they have an email address, they can sign a lease online, everything is digital signatures, they get assigned a portal, they can give you your security deposit, rent deposit, ACH on the account, everything is online, it's a very seamless process. Then once their account is set up and you onboard them as a tenant, they have what they call the system that they can log into and put any trouble tickets in for maintenances. And the software is so sophisticated, it will either route the maintenance call to the specific vendor that you want to handle it, whether it's a plumber, electrician, so on and so forth. So I like that system. You can easily manage, you know, a couple of hundred doors or thousands of doors with the system. So we have project number 2. We're in Orange, New Jersey. This is the White House. This project here I've been working on now for about 7 months, and this is what I mean when I say I've been working on stuff for a while. So architect drawings, like when you first get a house, sometimes you can go as far as you want. So what I mean by that is I try to get the architect to come in while I have the house under contract, to look at it, to advise me, brainstorm. And then it's a catch-22 because you can actually give the architect a deposit and let them start working on the drawings. I've tried that before. So as soon as you close, you have the drawings, you submit your permits. You just saved yourself 6 weeks by doing that.
I was gonna ask you that too, because like, you know, I was gonna ask you from start to when you're looking for a property to finish when you're, you know, at closing, like how do you label things in your contract, or do you pen things like, oh, pending, we get approval, or pending, we get, you know, a
yes.
loan?
So there's a lot of pendings in there. Great question, by the way. So pending if there's an oil tank, if there's an environmental issue, pending if there's more repairs than $15,000, if it's something that's finished or something that's a rental I'm buying with tenants already, then I will put if renovations exceed XYZ through my inspections, the home inspection, and you're not willing to do it, then I want to cancel the contract. So you can put a lot of clauses in the contract. But to save time, a lot of people do it a couple of ways. Well, really, when they buy the property, put it under contract, you have inspections that you're allowed to do. Your appraisal inspection, environmental inspection, just a general inspection. Okay. So you laid all that out, get that with the realtor or the seller. If you are able to get the architect to start before you close, it's great. But here's the catch-22. If something goes wrong, if you bring the architect in, you give him the deposit, you get started on the job, and then you pull the oil tank and there's an environmental issue where the soil is contaminated and it's $50,000 in remediation, you're not gonna go through with that project. Yeah. So you just wasted money on the architect. So that has happened to me before, not a remediation issue, but the deal just didn't work out, and the $2,500 deposit I gave to the architect, I just lost. It's worked in my favor several times where I actually knew I was going to close on the house. I waited till after environmental, everything was good, paid the architect. I closed, and 2 weeks later, I was able to submit the permits. The reason that I'm saying that is because the architect drawings, a lot of people don't know, can take up to 6 weeks, right? Sometimes they'll tell you 30 days or 3 weeks, but if you're doing a restoration project and there's a lot of different rooms, walls you're moving, they got to give you several samples to look at, you got to approve with them, sometimes it takes a couple of weeks. that's a delay process. So you buy the property and the first 6 weeks you're waiting for architect drawings because you really can't submit the full permits to do everything. So what I try to do is a workaround. If that happens to me, I put a permit just for gutting the property out so that we can see the beams, and also maybe doing some exterior work, windows, roof, siding, painting, whatever I can do until the final permits get ready. So we'll take a look at this project real quick. This is the White House. And a lot of my projects that I'm doing, I'm actually, for this summer, doing them all white, powder blue door, nice shutters, because that's what's in right now. So we just finished the foundation of the property, where we put stone just to make it pop a little bit. It used to be the wood foundation, the lattice. We had the lattice here on the bottom, and I don't know if there's one around here I can show you, but there's not one. I wanted to put stone because the house is gonna be white and we needed something really to bring it out. So we put stone. We're gonna put a nice powder blue door. We're gonna add some shutters in the top. Right now we have the painters here painting the outside. We're gonna take a look and see what they got done so far. So everything was sanded and primed up, and they're hand painting instead of spraying, because they sprayed on a primer. I didn't like the way it looked. It was too flat, it wasn't thick enough. So I said, I need you to hand roll the paint. So they have to go over the entire house with that. So yeah, they have to do the entire house, hand paint the entire house. So we're here now at a rental property. We're gonna check out and see how far the work got. This guy started the sheetrock, pretty excited. Got Robert tagging along, shadowing us. We just had a great lunch, had a great conversation about authenticity and power. I'll fill you guys in later. Pretty sharp kid. So this is a two-family, Robert. This is a rental property. I know you saw some of the restorations I was doing. Now you get to see the difference between the areas where the restorations are and also where the rentals are. And look at the quality of work that's going on. I know you can't see a finished product yet, but it's the same quality of work that I'm gonna do here that I would do in a restoration. So these guys are on break, which is awesome. They sheetrocked the kitchen already. They're moving right along, pretty surprising. They just pretty impressive. They just started yesterday. So they got far, sheetrocked everything. This is the bathroom over here. I'm keeping it.
Built before 79?
Oh yes, yes it was. So good question, because he knows that's when lead paint was heavily used during that time. So a lot of the floor moldings and everything we're going to keep, which is going to save me money and time. So we're going to sheetrock to that and get it done. So we gutted everything out and left that. The next phase, what we had to do is the plumber had to come in. That's always first. Or the carpenter comes in and he frames a couple of walls, damages. Then the plumber comes in and does his plumbing. Then the HVAC guy, I upgraded the system, as you can see, to HVAC. It has steam radiators, but we put HVAC systems in all my houses. The HVAC guy comes in and does his duct work, and then the electrician comes and does his wiring. Then you have all your rough inspections. The framer will come and do soffits and frame, make sure it's ready for sheetrock. Then you have your framing inspection. After your frame inspection, then you have your insulation inspection, which we had. And after your insulation inspection, everything from there is downhill. You get to close the walls, finish it, and have your final inspections.
Some towns, they have one jacket for all the permits, and some towns have separate jackets for each permit.
Yeah, you can actually do it a couple of different ways. So I like to do it whereas I would put my demolition permit in first, because that's the easy approval. You're gonna go in, you're gonna say, I'm gonna gut everything down to the beam, clean the house out, removing all of the old fixtures, the cabinets and all that, just to clean it up, boom.